New proposed guidelines for sex education in schools prompt pro-family groups to sound the alarm. Will government agencies embrace the recommendations, or will they protect children and parents' rights? This is the Citizenlink Report. I'm Carrie Earll with Citizenlink sexual health analyst Chad Hills. Hi, Chad.
Hi, Carrie.
Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
The concept that perception influences reality, that's an important one as we talk today about our topic, which are some national sex ed standards that have been released and proposed. But it's important for folks to know where these came from. They came from liberal groups with a long history of promoting condoms and sexually graphic information. How did these national standards, so-called, come about, and who's involved with them?
Yeah, Carrie, these are the normal suspects. We've got Planned Parenthood, we've got National Education Association, SICUS, Advocates for Youth. These groups developed a document that is a purported national standard. And now they're masquerading this through the educational sphere and through the national sphere as federal documents. And what people need to know is that, yes, this was published in a credible journal, but these are not, this is not a federal document. And educators, parents, and legislators need to understand this. This has no teeth.
So it gives the impression that these, because they call them national standards, it's been published, as you said, in a reputable journal. So it gives the impression that, hey, this is coming down the pike to a school near you, but it's not. That's not what it is.
That's correct.
So what is the concern here? I know pro-family groups have looked at this, you've looked at it, and it is some concerning information.
Yeah, basically, this opens the door to explicit, graphic sex education. It reads as a script for the homosexual agenda. It normalizes the anything goes sexuality outside the context of marriage. It does not direct children towards sexual risk avoidance, and parents are bypassed, basically. Children are shown how to get around their parents. For example, second graders, if they are feeling uncomfortable about being touched, not that they shouldn't be sexually touched, but if they are feeling uncomfortable about it, that's a concern. By second grade, basically homosexuality and same-sex marriage would be normalized. By fifth grade, they'd be able to define sexual orientation, normalize same-sex attraction. By eighth grade, they would know where to find emergency contraception, know how to use it, and how to get around their parents to get it. And by 12th grade, they're taught about media influence, religion, and how the church is ignorant, how sex outside of marriage today is normal, how homosexuality is normal today, how abortion is okay and normal today. There's a vast difference between teaching kids about sexuality from a sexual risk avoidance perspective versus promoting sexual activity among kids through explicit material.
So this is the kind of information that would make, I think, a lot of parents uncomfortable because they want to have some kind of say and influence over how controversial issues like this are being, their children are being exposed to those. Now, these groups that wrote these national standards, these so-called standards, have a lot of influence with federal agencies. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. These are the agencies that decide what kinds of mandates there will be from the federal government on these issues. How is the pro-family movement responding to this? Because I would think there's a big concern that these could be adopted by the federal government and become mandated.
Yes, exactly. And there are well over 100 pro-family organizations like Citizenlink and others, as well as medical doctors who have signed on to a letter that's being sent out to CDC and HHS, asking them to disregard these purported standards and to distance themselves from this report and from these guidelines. And what's disturbing is right now we're seeing a trend in the U.S. where fewer teens are choosing to have sex. Why not capitalize on that momentum? I'll tell you why, because SICUS, Planned Parenthood, Advocates for Youth, these liberal extreme groups want us to pour more money into failed programs. And teach kids how to bypass their parents to get emergency contraception and be sexually active outside the context of marriage. It's important for parents to remember that you are the primary educators of your kids. It's not the role of these deceptive extremist groups to teach your kids morals, your beliefs, your values, what your religion believes. Again, it's not the role of these groups that are posing as national advisors to do that.
So this is a great opportunity for parents to watch this webcast, to share it with friends, to be educated on this, so that if you start to hear about these national standards and them being discussed in your school district, you'll be aware that right now there's no teeth to them, but there's always that concern that it could be picked up. So,
absolutely.
Good. Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on this and let folks know as that develops. So thank you, Chad. Appreciate your diligence to keep track of those issues for us. And thanks to all of you who write to us to share your thoughts, concerns, and issues. We do like to hear from you, and you can contact us at mail@citizenlink.com. That's mail@citizenlink.com. We also want to invite you to join us in praying for our children when they confront these complicated sexual issues, not only in the classroom, but in culture. Our prayer here and our daily work at Citizenlink is in the hope that God's design for sexuality, family, and marriage will be expressed in all the venues in culture for the sake of the children and for the nation. And remember, stand tall and be heard.